And we're not going to talk about mountains in a literal sense. We're going to talk about a summit in your life. Let me start by telling you a story. When I was your age, I decided to climb a mountain. I grew up in Atlanta, Georgia, and I went to a school a lot like Colorado Academy. I was very lucky. And when I was at the school in Atlanta, I met a man named Robert McCallum. He came to my school, and he talked to me about his life and his career, and what it had been like to go to school in these wonderful places, the Ivy League, Oxford. He'd been a Rhodes Scholar. And I thought, man, if I could just do some of what he did, I'm sure I would be happy. I'm sure everything in my life would be just fantastic if I could just follow in his footsteps. So I said, that is going to be my challenge. That's going to be my mountain. So I set about trying to replicate some of those things. And I was so lucky that I had some of these same opportunities. I went off to college. I went to Harvard and experienced what it was like to go to Harvard University. I applied for the same scholarships that Robert McCallum did. And I got one of them, believe it or not. And I got a chance to go to Oxford, one of the oldest universities in the whole world, hundreds of years old, the dreaming spires of Oxford. And when I got there, I decided I was just going to keep on climbing, keep on working to see how many other great schools I could go to and what kind of life I could lead if I just kept trying to do what had been put in front of me when I was your age. I just kept climbing that mountain. And I got all the way to law school. I said, I'm going to be a lawyer like Robert McCallum. I went to Yale Law School, which is the best law school in the whole world. I got a chance to clerk at the United States Supreme Court, the highest court in the land. This is where I went to work every day. I actually got to stand in the room where they argued Brown versus Board of Education. That was where I prepared arguments for my boss, David Souter, one of the best, smartest, most exciting justices that you can work for. And I had this experience, and I thought to myself, wow, how lucky am I? I reached my mountaintop. That's it. I reached my summit. But the reality was, this is who I thought I was. I thought I was going to be Tom Cruise and A Few Good Men. I was going to be a trial lawyer, and I was going to get in there with the jury, and I was going to win cases, I was going to cross-examine witnesses, and it was going to be amazing. Just like in the movies. This is how I thought it would feel. This is from Rocky IV. Fantastic movie. That is how it's supposed to feel when you climb a mountain, right? Right? Except the funny thing happened when I got to the top of my mountain. It wasn't what I expected. Now let me explain to you what I mean by that. It's not that it wasn't all the things I thought it would be, in the literal sense. I had money, I was a lawyer, I had lots of trophies and accomplishments. I became a partner at a young age, in my early 30s. I even had everyone telling me, great decision. You're a trial lawyer at the best firm in America, you're living in Colorado, you're living the dream. This is what your life is. Right? This is who you are. I would kill to be you, etc. Except inside, it didn't feel like that. Inside, it felt like this. Fine, I'm very sad. But none of those other things mattered. And all that I could think about was, I don't want to do this. I don't want to be this. This is not how I want to spend the next 20 years of my life. And everyone's looking at me like I'm crazy because they would kill to get to work for the Supreme Court. They would kill to get to go to Harvard, Oxford, Yale. But I didn't want to be that. And so I had to ask myself, now what? My summit turned out to be a false summit. It wasn't the mountaintop. It wasn't the final destination in my life. And this, I would submit, is going to happen to each one of you. And it probably won't happen to you at Colorado Academy. It's going to happen to you multiple times in your life. Something you thought would be one way is not quite going to be the be-all, end-all that you thought. It's going to turn out to be a false summit. And you're going to have to figure out what to do when that happens. This happened to me 5 years ago. And so let me tell you what I did. Number one, I set out to find a new summit. So I'm not done climbing. I'm just on the wrong mountain. Let me figure out another mountain to climb that sounds more appealing. Who am I? What makes me happy? When I've done things that have made me happy, what do they have in common? To me, that was, I want to become an entrepreneur. But to become an entrepreneur, you have to reinvent yourself because you didn't go to business school. You went to law school. You don't know how to raise money. You barely know how to use your own phone, according to my wife. So you have to reinvent yourself, and you have to learn new things. How do you build a mobile app? What does that even entail? How do you get an app in the App Store? How do you get people to download it? How do you get partners? How do you employ people? You got to learn these things. You got to roll with the punches. This is a photo taken of me on the morning of the Super Bowl. I'm from Atlanta. It was kind of a rough day. We thought it was going to be a great day. For 3 quarters, it was a great Super Bowl, and then it didn't go quite the way we wanted. Right? There's lots of those moments of being an entrepreneur, and you have to roll with the punches. It's uncomfortable figuring out a new thing to do in your life and setting about climbing it. And above all else, don't take reaching the summit as the only thing that matters. Because most of the time, it's not all that it's cracked up to be. It's about the experience of getting yourself there. Remember, it's about the hike. It's about the journey. If you read the biographies of successful entrepreneurs, like the founder of Nike, for example, his biography is all about the experience of building Nike. It's not all about when Nike was a famous company. It's all about the journey. So, I will see you on the trail. I hope you found your own mountains already to strive for. Remember that it's okay to find new mountains in the future when it turns out that some of those are false summits. I know this is Colorado, so I will see you on the literal trail, and as part of the Colorado Academy community, I will see you on your philosophical and metaphorical trail as well. Thank you very much.